नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 7 चैप्टर 9 वर्स 4। मौन व्रत श्रुत तपोध्ययन स्वधर्म व्याख्यारहो जप समाधय आपवर्ग्याः प्रायः परम पुरुष ते त्वच्चितेन्द्रियाणां वार्ता भवन्त्युत न वात्र तु दाम्भिकानाम्। O Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are 10 prescribed methods on the path to liberation. This is general mukti. To remain silent, mauna, and not to speak to anyone. To observe vows, where these things better remain silent, mauna, only mauna. Then vrata, mauna, vrata. Vrata is to observe vows. Shruta, to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge. Tapa, austerity. Then adhyayana, study of scripture. Study Vedas, Vedic literatures. Then Swadharma, executing Varnashrama Dharma. Then Vyakhya, explain the Shastras. Then Rahaha, living in a solitary place. Uh, Japa, to chant mantras. And Samadhayaha, be absorbed in trance. So these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. Apavargyaha. These are 10 types of activities which lead us to apavarga, which means liberation. These different methods for liberation are generally only a professional practice and means of livelihood for those who have not conquered their senses. Uh, Okay, a bit harsh, but yeah. So this can also become like a professional practice and means of livelihood. People, pungis, hypocrites, cheaters, they might externally do all this, but they have no intention of going towards liberation, but they have more intended for bhoga. So this is addressing to them. They have not conquered their senses, and they, though this is the path to liberation, they follow this path just to as a means of livelihood. Because such persons are falsely proud, these procedures may not be successful. Stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kechit Kevalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayanaha Agham Dhunvanti Katsnena Niharam Iva Bhaskaraha. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed Kevalaya Bhaktya. The Kevala Bhakta, Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, all this means complete unalloyed devotional service. And complete is important, meaning no other activity. So that such person is rare. Now he is adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. Only he can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. Agham dhunvanti, niharam iva bhaskaraha. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service. Just as niharam means fog, iva bhaskaraha, like the rays of the sun, just like they dissipate fog, meaning it will go off like this. It won't come back. Once the fog is gone, it doesn't come back. So, which means that these weeds of sinful action can be eliminated, destroyed by complete unalloyed devotion. The real purpose of human life is to attain liberation from material entanglement. Such liberation may be achieved by many methods, but all of them more or less depend on tapasya, which begins with celibacy. Sukadeva Goswami says that those who are Vasudeva Parayana, who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva Krishna, automatically achieve the results of Mauna, Vrata, and other such methods simply by discharging devotional service. In other words, these methods are not so powerful. If one takes to devotional service, all of them are very easily performed. So this is also Shraddha. Having faith that devotional service is everything, is all in all encompassing. Don't have to do anything else. But to do devotion, we have to do some tapasya. Mauna, for example, does not mean that one should just stop speaking. Tongue is meant for speaking, although sometimes to make a big show, a person remains silent. There are many who observe silence once some day in a week. Vaishnavas, however, do not observe such silence. Silence means not speaking foolishly. Speakers at assemblies, conferences, and meetings generally speak foolishly, like toads. And this is described by Srila Rupa Goswami as Vato Vegam. One who wants to say something can show himself to be a big orator, but rather than go on speaking nonsense, better to remain silent. This method of silence, therefore, is recommended for persons very attached to speaking nonsense. One who is not a devotee must speak nonsensically because he does not have the power to speak about the glories of Krishna. And anything which is spoken which is not connected to Krishna is nonsense only. Thus, whatever he says is influenced by the illusory energy and is compared to the croaking of a frog. Frog croaks and then snake comes and eats it up. That's all. One who speaks about the glories of the Lord, however, has no need to be silent. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. All the time, 24 hours, one should go on chanting the glories of the Lord. 24 hours a day. No question of becoming. So the Vacho Vegam. So we have to control our speech, but we don't have to become silent. We have to control our speech so that we can speak only about the glories of the Lord and no Gramya Katha. All things connected to this material world, gossip, people, relatives, relations, functions, sense gratification, envy, all this is Gramya Katha. All this is unwanted speech. So watch your Vegam. So control your speech. Don't become silent. Control your speech and only vibrate. Prabhupada says, only vibrate the Lord's glories. And see this. Prabhupada Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should go on chanting 24 hours a day. Today, for example, if we take one of the paths of means of glorification, which is Hare Krishna, it's difficult for most devotees to do continuous chanting, isn't it? And if we say sometimes 32 rounds, it's a big austerity. 2 hours itself is, sufficient austerity. Hours is just too much, and more than that is unimaginable. But we have to reach a stage where our mind is just happy, just remaining with Krishna, and no other activity, no other thinking thoughts also, no thinking anything else, no doing anything else, simply engaging all the time in so, right? It's such a for those who realize the little taste in Tavanam Kirtanam, you can imagine how blissful it will be. Right? And we normally have this experience after, weekend satsangs. At least I feel very energized. After satsangs, talking to devotees, associating with devotees, kirtan, sadham, completely Krishna conscious time. And it's next day is like, of course, I don't have to go to work, but still I miss association of people. I'm in the association and trying to do Krishna conscious activities, still that gives so much of happiness. And just imagine, if we are in a situation where we can just be like this 24 hours, and we should aspire to be that. We should desire, saying that, okay, I'm so much age now, by so many years, these many years, which is not like a 50-year plan, whatever, 5 years, 10 years, on our financial situation, responsibilities, etc. We should think, saying that, oh, okay, in so many time, I'm going to come to this, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Guru and Krishna's mercy, come to this state of Kirtaniya Sadahari. Mm. And there's no question of becoming Mauna. In fact, people who are more Mauna, now we are pushing them to speak. And when they speak so nicely. Then what is the point in being Mauna? There's no point in being Mauna. Just keep speaking. Before I came into Krishna consciousness, I used to be very, very sober. I mean, not speaking to people, and if I have to speak in a meeting and all that, I used to really shy away. I used to be like, is it absolutely required? Can somebody else speak on my behalf? And now Krishna Katha is so energizing, gives so much of energy, gives so much of bliss. And it doesn't matter how difficult it is. I feel so happy just speaking about it. So we should we should just continue. No, keep remaining silent. Speak, 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 speak. The 10 processes for liberation or improvement on the path of liberation are not meant for the devotees. By the way, one more thing about this, especially for those who are preachers. When we speak, our happiness should should be experienced by others. Because see, most people in the material world, they have not experienced what it is to be spiritually happy. Now, those devotees who are spiritually happy also, if by associating with such devotees, if newcomers don't experience that happiness, then they will not get inspired to do devotion. And it's not like we are doing this falsely. It's just our natural state of being happy. So we should let the others also experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness. It's not just we are speaking. Of course, initially when we are asked to speak, it might be a little difficult. We are not used to speaking. We are worried about our accuracy, the philosophical accuracy of our statements. We might be, worried. Okay, I can't remember what I have to say next. We make notes. All this is all fine. This is all the austerity that is required, right? But when we speak eventually, which means that after some bit of training, and then when we speak, we should see that contagious. Prabhupada said that enthusiasm is contagious. That association with Vaishnavas is contagious. And so we should try to create that contagious environment where people can't run away from devotion, and people should be looking forward to say, I want to come associate with these devotees, hear from these devotees. That is required, not mechanical. The 10 process for liberation or improvement on the path of liberation are not meant for the devotees. What it is simply engaging in devotional service of the Lord, and all 10 methods of liberation are automatically observed. Prahlad Maharaj's proposal is that such process may be for the Ajitendriya, those who cannot conquer their senses. Devotees, however, have already conquered their senses. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparat malam. Again, when Prabhupada is saying this is the standard. We have to come to this state. Of course, bhakti is powerful enough. Devotee is already freed from material contamination. And what do we have to do to conquer our senses? What should we do? We have to simply, properly chant Hare Krishna. That's all. If you are not able to simply, properly, offenselessly, nicely, lovingly chant Hare Krishna, then we have to do so many other things. But somehow or the other, if you have got hooked on to chanting, automatically the purification happens. Nothing else needs to be done. And the devotee will then start hankering. He wants to hear more about Krishna. Because as the heart is getting purified, then our eternal relationship with Krishna starts becoming more and more established, explicit. But then devotee has eagerness to hear about Krishna, to speak about Krishna. But all that automatically just by a good chanting practice. Mm. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, I keep saying this, Vaishnava ke, Dushta mana, evil mind, tumi kisera Vaishnava. What kind of a Vaishnava are you? Pratisthara thare nirjanayera ghare, tava harinama kevala kaitava. Kaitava means cheating. Your harinama is simply a cheating. Why? Because for pratishtha, you are running behind pratishtha, position, fame, nirjanayera ghare. You are doing nirjana bhajana. You're doing nirjana bhajana and you want fame. Your harinama is simply a cheating. You are, so just telling the mind that you're simply cheating. What kind of a Vaishnava? There are many who like to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in silent, solitary place, but if one is not interested in preaching, talking constantly to the non-devotees, influence of the modes of nature is very difficult to surpass. Again, I mean, I've been telling this again and again, right? There is no devotion without association and without like-minded quality association. Both of these are important. Like-minded. Like-minded means there are each of us have a certain type of nature, or liking towards devotion. We should associate with those devotees who have similar liking, right? If somebody wants to do intense devotion, he should associate with those devotees who do intense devotion. Somebody wants to take bhakti lightly, he should associate with those devotees who are intense, but he will not like, he will not remain there for long. So just to protect himself, maybe he might just associate with others also who are casual, but it's not going to be beneficial. But it should be like-minded, and it should be advanced. These devotees are more advanced than us. Associate. Then we will get the inspiration, knowledge, drive, everything to be talking constantly to non-devotees. Otherwise, instead of giving association to non-devotees, we might end up taking their association. Hmm. I was talking to one devotee saying that his family, his wife, and they're not coming. Initially, they were coming for satsang. Now they are not coming. I was saying that devotee was saying, yeah, they're still chanting at home, etc. I said, stop very soon. If they're not in the association of devotees, that will stop very soon. How difficult it is to stop chanting. The only reason we are chanting is because we are inspired to chant. And inspiration comes only by devotee association. Otherwise, the modes will just attack. Therefore, unless one is extremely advanced, one should not imitate Haridas Thakur. Meaning, don't try to do devotion by yourself. Haridas Thakur was so advanced, he had no business other than chanting the holy name 24 hours. Prahlada does not condemn such a process, but without active service, simply by such methods, one generally cannot attain liberation. One cannot attain liberation simply by false deed. Some people, some sannyasis, they are very, very proud. They do so much of, not Vaishnava sannyasi, any sannyasi, that they do so much of austerity that they can control their senses. It results in false pride. Hmm. So it's very important that actually we remain in the association of. Mm. Otherwise, we will develop, instead of becoming Trinadapi Sanichana, we'll become Dambho, Darpa, Abhimanasa, which are qualities of demon, instead of becoming Trinadapi. And Trinadapi, for us to become Trinadapi, we have to keep getting hammered. Um, Prabhupada's hammer is always there. Just open Prabhupada's purports, get hammered, right? And then we come back to our, uninflated mode. Normally inflated, meaning proud. So then we should get deflated, uninflated state. It means understanding, saying that I am nobody, I'm worthless. I don't have any devotion. So many devotees who have such nice devotion, I don't have any devotion. So that should be our, and that is real. It's not like some, we're not trying to just, it's not false. It's actually true. We don't have devotion. If we had had devotion, we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't be trying to enjoy the material world around us. We would be crying, saying that, why am I here? What am I doing? Uh, I want to serve Krishna and Radha in Goloka, and I'm serving my senses here. We'd be like lamenting. Yesterday, like hearing somewhere saying, initially all devotees are enthusiastic to do everything nicely, but as time passes, we become complacent, we become casual, we become disinterested, we become interested in other things like recognition, like respect, etc., etc. That is why this Vaishnavaki is so important. रूपे इमे सदसति तव वेद सृष्टे बीजाङ्कुराव इव न चान्यत् अरूपकस्य युक्ता समक्षम् उभयत्र विचक्षन्ते त्वाम् योगेन वहनिमिव दारुषु नान्यतः स्यात्. By authorized Vedic knowledge, one can see that the forms of cause and effect in the cosmic manifestation belong to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the cosmic manifestation is His energy. So whatever we are seeing, cause and effect, is all the Supreme Lord. Both cause and effect are nothing but energies of the Lord. Therefore, my Lord, just as a wise man, by considering cause and effect, can see how fire pervades wood. Those engaged in devotional service understand how you are both the cause and effect. How fire pervades wood. Fire is there in wood in a dormant state. It's there everywhere. But then when a wood catches fire, then the fire which is there becomes seen. Mm. So the wood might seem to be the cause, but the actual cause is fire only. So you have to understand that while we might see some apparent causes, saying, "Oh, this person did that, that person did that," but actually the real cause is only Krishna. There's no other cause. Effect is also Krishna. So our karma is also Krishna, our karma phala is also Krishna, but he is not responsible for it. It is Krishna in the sense that it is his energy. What is his energy? We are using material. This cause and effect means we are talking about mostly material cause and effect, and all matter is just an energy, external energy. So that way it's Krishna. But Krishna is also different. So it is Achintya Bheda Bheda. As described in previous verses, many so-called students of spiritual understanding follow the 10 different methods. These may be very attractive, but by following such methods, one cannot actually understand the real cause and effect and the original cause of everything. And so by doing all this, they cannot understand Krishna. Evam vyo vetti tattvataha. The original cause of everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This original source is Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna. He has his eternal spiritual form. Indeed, he is the root of everything. Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam. Whatever manifestations exist, their cause is the Supreme Lord. It cannot be understood by so-called silence or by any other hodgepodge method. Supreme cause can be understood only by devotional service. Bhaktya Mama Vijnana. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, Supreme Godhead personally says, Bhaktyaham ekaya grahya. I can be grahya, understood or captured only by bhakti. One can understand only by devotion. One can understand Supreme Person only by devotion. Not by show bottle exhibitionism. Show bottle exhibitionism, meaning just showing off externally and doing some jugglery, word jugglery, or yeah, or showing off some severe austerities. Not going to be able to understand, right? We know this incident in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's one Brahmana who just drinks only milk, and he wanted to enter into the Sankirtan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that was happening in Srivas Thakur's house. The Brahmana comes to Srivas Thakur and begs, requesting that please, I want to see once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing. Then Srivas Thakur devotee is very, very compassionate. So he's thinking, okay, this Brahmana is good. He's not like others. He's just simply subsisting on milk. So maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will maybe accept him. So thus thinking that he allows him to remain in his house hidden. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts dancing, kirtan, dancing, and he says, I am not feeling ecstasy today. Is there somebody who's not supposed to be here in this house, who's not supposed to be here? And then Shiva's Prabhu understands, saying that, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to know. So then he calls the Brahmana out, and, then Brahmana says, Mahaprabhu, I'm just simply insisting on milk and I don't eat anything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just chastises him, saying that, what, you think that you can achieve Krishna prema by just drinking milk? It's not by your austerities that Krishna is captured, it's by your love. So this, of course, it's not that, okay, oh, no, no, so we should not be any austere, let's do bhoga. Mm. Let's enjoy all kinds of food that is available. No, Rupa Goswami said, Yuktahara Viharasya, then it says, Atyahara Prayasascha. So slowly, steadily, as we make progress in devotional service, our the desire to eat more and more, even prasadam, should go down, should decrease. So one good thing, especially for those devotees who've been in Krishna consciousness for a few years, is to, of course, I see that so many devotees are exalted. Even with few years of, Krishna consciousness, they are doing Nirjala on Ekadashi. And I look at them and I feel like, oh my God, I'm like 15 years in Krishna consciousness. Still, I'm not able to do Nirjala on every Ekadashi. I'm still having to eat prasadam. So then, little bit, we should get positively impacted from such association. And then I started thinking, saying that at least from next Ekadashi, I will try to be only on. Slowly, we should not jump into something that our body cannot handle. And sometimes mind cannot also handle. Too much of forced austerity, mind will just repel. Rebel. It may just push us in a very wrong direction. So, okay, so maybe, few Ekadashis should be only fruits, maybe 3 times a day. Then slowly, maybe those 3 times can be brought down to 2 times, and so on and so forth. So, like train your body to be able to take up that austerity, but desire to do that. And that's the beauty of, association. So I see so many devotees around me. So nicely they're doing Nirjal and also service. It's not that they're doing Nirjal and sitting at one place. No, they're doing Nirjal and then doing service till the end of the program. Not just, they come in the morning, then some devotees have our seva, Rangoli, serving prasadam, giving class, cooking, Rajbhog, whatever it is. They're doing all that and they remain Nirjal and they're happy. It's not like they're famished and tired, and so which is amazing. When we should see such examples, feel inspired, saying that pray for mercy. Mm. Ask them also to give us some, give us some inspiration, and that is association. Uh, so we should not do this bottle business. Outside we are saying, "Oh, I'm a big austere person," and then go inside the kitchen and eat. Mm. So we should be genuine. One of the things that I keep telling people, saying that just we have to be genuine, just be pure, truthful, be genuine. Don't be false, hypocritical, kutinati. This hypocrisy is the biggest destroyer of devotion. Mm. So if we are just simple, genuine, humble, pretty much our work is done. Simple, genuine, humble. Because anyway, we talked about seriousness, serious and sincere. Now, next level of qualities is just genuine, being genuine, simple, and humble. That's all. We will go back to Krishna in one life. So the five things are required, right? Seriousness, sincerity, seriousness, genuineness, and simple and humble. What else is required? You think from Shastra, what else is required for us to? But instead of that, we just want to show off. We want to tell something that we are not doing. All this is not going to help us. All this is not going to. Okay, we'll. त्वं वायुरग्निरवनिर्यत् अम्बुमात्राः प्राणेन्द्रियाणि हृदयं चिदनुग्रहश्च सर्वं त्वमेव सगुणो विगुणश्च भूमन् नान्यत्वदस्ति अपि मनो वचसा निरुक्तम्. O Supreme Lord, you're actually the air, earth, fire, sky, water. You're the objects of sense perception, the life airs, the five senses, the mind, consciousness, false ego. Everything is the Supreme Lord. Indeed, you're everything subtle and gross. The material elements and anything expressed either by the words or by mind are nothing but you. So this is Krishna consciousness, seeing Krishna everywhere. This is the Sarva Vyapi, all pervasive conceptual Supreme Lord, which explains how he spreads everywhere and anywhere. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman, Supreme Brahman Krishna. Nothing else exists without him. मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगत् अव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेषु अवस्थिता. मया ततमिदं सर्वं, by me, tatam, pervaded. Everything is pervaded by me. Jagat, sarvam jagat. By what? Avyaktamurtina. By my Avyaktamurti, which is the uh, unmanifested Brahman form, Supreme Brahman. Matsthani sarvabhutani. Everything, all sarvabhutani, all jivas are in me, but I am not in them. Lord can be visible only through devotional service, and Lord can be visible. This is just a tattvic vision of the Lord, to see the Lord's energy everywhere. Right? But eventually we will see the Lord everywhere. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti madbhaktaha. Supreme Lord stays only where his devotees chant his glories. And we have to sincerely chant. That's all. If you are sincere in devotion, then Krishna will manifest. But for that, we have to do Shravan. Mm. Simple things about the, you know, tattva, the philosophy behind Krishna or his pastimes. Janma karma cha me divyam. Just to understand this itself, it requires so much of effort. Just this one statement is our whole life. Just to understand that Janma and karma of Krishna are divine. because there are two levels of understanding. One is his he many of his Leela, when he manifested when he appeared here in Bhauma Vrindavan, his Leela connected with Mathura and Dwaraka is one level of tattva, relatively more easier to understand. But there, we get stuck with moral, ethical kind of situations where why did Krishna do this on the battle of Kurukshetra, like that. So that is one kind of tattva to understand. Second kind of tattva is his love and reciprocation with his devotees in Vrindavan. Right, his servants, his friends, and parents. That is another level of tattva. Then there is one more third level of tattva, which is to understand Krishna's, uh, pastimes with the gopis. So, which is why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Madhurya, it's the sweetness of Krishna. That is that tattvataha. But yes, still, for us to get to that sweetness, we have to first get to the foundational philosophy, which is first supremacy of the Lord, and his all powerful position. Right? Then slowly we come to understand Krishna's pastimes as, uh, Dwarkadish, or while he was in Mathura, etc. Which is little bit more easier to understand. Then we go deeper into next level of Tattvataha, is entering Vrindavan and other rasas. And finally we come to Madhurya rasa, and specifically Madhurya Parakya rasa. So, but we cannot understand Krishna if we are not systematically hearing. The word systematic is very important. If we do ad hoc Shravanam, what is ad hoc Shravanam? Anybody wants to say what is the meaning of ad hoc Shravanam?
Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it's random, like here and there. Uh,
Yeah, what does
in
it mean actually?
Okay, not in the sequence. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, we are supposed to read from the first canto, first verse,
Mm,
there up till the ninth canto, and
yeah,
then we can read the tenth canto.
yeah.
So that way.
So, yeah, random means first of all, we don't know whom we should hear from. Number one, we think that everybody who's saying Krishna is authentic, correct, should be heard from. Right. So then we go onto the internet, and nowadays, there's like umpteen number of lectures, whatever, blah 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 on the internet. Then we hear them. Okay, second is like, yeah, no sequence, no, Shravanam should be, this whole philosophy is very gradually built up, till we come to the 10th canto. So, we have to read Bhagavad Gita, systematically, verse after verse, and there are so many things we have to understand, then imbibe, then slowly, then come to Bhagavatam, and then come to 10th canto, and then if we are just simply some ad hoc Shravanam is acceptable. Like for example, some like in the temple, we had His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. So it'll be some ad hoc Shravanam because we might talk about some topic. Now, generally, those topics will be connected to Krishna and inspirational. So the intent is that Devi might get inspired to do devotion, right? But that shouldn't become the daily affair. Daily affair is to hear in a systematic way, one after another, right? So that is, if you don't do that, then it's called ad hoc Shravanam. Ad hoc means whatever comes my way. That's not going to help us make um, systematic progress. Why is this systematic required? Like I said, if you want to reach a stage of doing Nirjal Ekadashi and you're eating prasadam now, you can't just overnight just try to change your position. You have to systematically go, okay, no, today I'm going to do this much, tomorrow I'm going to do this much. And we also have to know till where I have to go. Mm, what is the end state? So it is required for us to, like I said, these three tattvas are not going to get revealed just like that, isn't it? To understand Krishna, it's not an easy thing. Mm. Only when your heart starts to hanker, saying that no, 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 I want to understand more about Krishna. Why Krishna did this? How Krishna does this? Only then we will, that eagerness has to come. Then we will stick to quality Shravanam and then we will make progress. So it's very, very important. We will get stuck at some level if we are not doing structured reading of Prabhupada. And don't take a lifetime, please. Don't take a lifetime to read 4 books of Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Next of Devotion, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita. Don't take a lifetime. In the lifetime, these books should have been read tens of times, if not hundreds. And only then we will build the foundation by which possibly we can enter into higher topics. Of course, under the guidance, permission of Guru. Right? But if we are stuck with, Prabhu, I'm still reading Bhagavad Gita first time, just reading Bhagavad Gita second time. I've been in Bhakti for 5 years. So much of time wasted. In 5 years of devotion, a devotee should have read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam at least, and Nectar of Devotion at least half, 20 chapters. At least this much. If not Chaitanya Charitamrita, even if somebody has read, they won't have understood anything. But at least these three in 5 years. Then hopefully by in 5 years, initiation should have happened and one should have become serious. This is general. Generally, we have to move at this pace. And then, very quickly finish off reading Chaitanya Charitamrita because we won't understand much Chaitanya Charitamrita, but we will read sincerely for purification. Then again, we will read all of these once more time, once more. Then the time taken should become less. It's not that we took 7 years to finish all these once. Then again, we're going to take another 7 years. No, because now we've heard so much. So much purification has happened. Now, when we read next, a lot of it now we are able to understand more easily. So, next round reading will become much faster. Third time reading will become even faster. So, like this, once we have come to three times or more, and we are like reasonably fixed in Prabhupada's purpose, then we can enter into higher tattva. Then we can go beyond the 20 chapters of Rasamrita Sindhu. Try to understand um, so many technical things about devotion, which we don't know right now. So many things. Alambana, Uddipana, then Sthai Bhava, Satvika Bhava, then Vyabhichari Bhava, then, so many things are there to be understood. Why we have to understand all this? To know if we are doing any Sahajiya Bhakti or not. Is the Bhakti we are doing is as per Shastra or not? To know that, we should understand components of Bhakti as described by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita. After we've read Prabhupada's books few times, then we should try to understand Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as it is. Like this, we have to keep on reading, 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 hearing. There's really unlimited material. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that we should have a magazine or a newspaper printed every moment with Vaikuntha news. He said there is so much happening out there. So we can imagine how much is out there to read, assimilate, purify ourselves. Bhava samshuddhir. We should purify our existence. Okay. So I'll stop here if anybody has any questions. Okay. Thanks very much. Vanchakal. Vishtakal. Devachapati Tanam. Namo Namo. Nikita. Krishna.